Okay, here we are. I just wanted to take a moment and show you, this is one of the prerequisites to do the machine learning course that Google makes available. Have you seen it? It's pretty awesome, I think. I like this. So here's like, what is machine learning? Let's go all the way back to the beginning so I can show you how I came upon this. All right, check that out. These are excellent. These are so well thought out. These guys not only know their subject matter, in my opinion, whoever's putting this together within Google also knows how to teach. They know how to organize the material, how to break it down, how to keep it accessible so that you know, somebody who's just average intelligence like myself, I consider myself average intelligence, I suppose, and yet this is accessible to me. I'm kind of following along. So I did this intro to machine learning. It's excellent. Check it out. Highly recommend. And then machine learning crash course. Now, in all fairness, I've done some of this before, but for me, I learn by repeating. I guess I'm a slow learner, perhaps you might say. I don't get these concepts on the first go around. But I said, do check this out. So what I did was checking out this prerequisites, and I just went through the problem framing. You want to do all these. Don't try to skip. It won't work. You've got to have the background information. I did the NumPy, and the NumPy is review for me. A lot of this stuff is going to be review. So now I'm doing the Pandas, and that's also review. Now when you click on this link, it takes you to a Google Colab, which is basically a Jupyter notebook, which is excellent if you want to get some experience with this Jupyter notebook. But this is Colab. I mean, you could use. It doesn't cost anything. None of this that I've showed you so far costs not even one dime. It costs you your time. So if you have time and you're interested in machine learning, I would highly recommend this. So let's take a look at how this works when you're in. This is similar. We're similar to what you would see in Kaggle, which is Jupyter Notebooks, I believe, but also it works the same way as TensorFlow, and just as far as the functionality. So let's take a look. This is a Pandas ultra quick tutorial. I'm not going to read everything. I don't want to take your time, but you click in the cell. That's what that's called, is a cell. Come over to the left, hit the arrow. And what we're doing is we're setting ourselves up so that we can work with NumPy and Pandas. You see what's happening there? It's importing those, just like we're working in Python, essentially, is what we're doing, I believe. NumPy and Pandas, those are Python packages, I believe. You correct me if I'm wrong. Creating a data frame, okay. 10 cells, 5 rows, 2 columns, and you'll see what that is. I hope it'll show you. Let's see, the following code instantiates a data frame. Yeah, that's cool. You create an array, you give it some column names, and this is where you make the data frame. You're naming it my data frame, and then we're going to print. So click in the cell. You got to click in the cell to make it active, and now come over and hit this arrow, and boom, there's our data frame. It's called my_data frame. Okay, so far so good. Let's keep on scrolling, adding a new column to a data frame. All right, so my data frame adjusted. We're changing the name because this is just an assignment. Okay, you guys have a little bit of coding background, I know. So I'm preaching to the choir. Yeah, hello. So my data frame activity +2. Ooh. For example, following code creates a third column named adjusted. Ooh, wow. +2. I'm not sure what's going on there. My data frame activity +2. All right. Not sure what's going to happen there. See? So we had temperature and activity, and now we have temperature, activity, and this is our new column named adjusted. We named it here. Isn't that interesting? Now, why do we have the +2? Gosh, I don't know. Let's make it +3 and see what happens. Boom. Hit it again. Let's see if it changes. No. What if I made it 1? See, I'm not sure what that +2 is doing, so that's why I'm doing this. Activity +1. Well, again, I guess I'm a little slow because I'm not seeing what the +2 is doing. Oh, wait. Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, it's just adding 2. God, I'm a little slow. Jeez. It's taking the activity column, whatever's in there for that particular line, okay, and it's just adding 2 to it. That's all it's doing. Okay, let's move on. I got hung up there. Sorry about that. Let's scroll down. So specifying a subset of a data frame. Pandas provides multiple ways to isolate specific rows, columns, slices, or cells in a data frame. Okay. So print print rows 0, 1, and they've got those dot signs. So that's going to be like a header, I suppose, isn't it? Whereas, and this is the individual rows 1, 2, and 3. See, that's just like a header kind of thing. And then this is the actual, what it's going to print. My data frame head 3. So that's just going to give you the first 3 rows. I think that's what that's going to do with the head. My data frame I location 2. So, ouch. Here, change my seating position. So that's location 2. Is that the second row? We'll have to see. My data frame from 1 to 4. Okay, this is going to be rows, I think, from 1 to 4, 0, 1. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that's what that will be. My data frame temperature. And that should print all the temperatures. Okay, click in the cell, hit the left arrow. Let's see if I was pretty much. See, so this is the first print statement is just like a header. It's just going to print what's in there. And 2. Ooh, that's weird. Rows 0, 1, and 2. 0, 1, and 2. Yeah. Okay. So it's because that whole thing is in quotations. This is going to print exactly what's inside those quotation marks. You get that. Again, I'm still learning. So print. So don't judge me. Print row number 2. So again, that's just going to be the header. My print data frame I location 2. So that's just going to print row 2. Let's see if that did. Which is row 2? Row 2 should say 1, 10, 7, 9, but instead it's well, let's see. 0, 1, 2. Nope, so row 2 is 2, 29, 11. 2, 29, 11. That's row 2. Okay, cool. I get that. Don't mind me. Again, that's row 2. Rows 1, 2, and 3 print my data frame from 1 to 4. And of course, it's not going to print the 4th. You know how that works. It's just going to go 1, 2, 3. So it'll be the same as this, I think. Let's see. I did head, so that's 0, 1, 2. That's the first 3. Head 3 up here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, first 3 rows. So this should be the same. 1, 2, 3, and indeed it is. It's just we gave it a different command. Head 3 was maybe easier. So, and for each one we gave it a return line, just like we did here, just like we've done there. Okay, here's the last one. Print column temperature. So this is just going to print the column temperature. Print my data frame, because we named our data frame my data frame. Okay, so that's the data frame that we are working with. So print my data frame in brackets temperature. That's all we want is the temperature. So the temperature is this first column, and there it is. Boom, bang, boom. Okay, that's pretty cool, really. We can move on. Okay, how are we doing? We're almost. So task 1, create a data frame. Oh, now now we're in trouble. We have to do it ourselves now. It was easy just clicking on their stuff. But okay, so we won't panic. But it shouldn't be that tough. We can follow their examples. Create a 3x4 column Pandas data frame in which the columns are boop, 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 populate each of the 12 cells in the data frame with a random integer between 0 and 1 inclusive. Output the following: the entire data frame, the value in the cell row of number 1 Eleanor column. Create a 5th row named Janet. To complete this task, helps know NumPy basics covered in the NumPy quick tutorial, which I just did. So hopefully that'll help me, huh? So it says write your code here. So I could do it like this, or I could write the code there, okay? It's up to you how you do yours. Pandas data frame, which calls on populated cells random machine. Output the following entire data frame. I'll say, can I say my underscore my frame? I'll call it anything I want, right? It's just a name. And then populate each of the 12 cells on the data frame. And of course, what we've done is up here, when we set ourselves up, we used an alias called PD. So I can use that alias down here now that I'm doing my own, right? So I'll say PD something. Oh boy. I got to look at what I'm doing here. PD data frame, yeah. Okay. Again, okay, PD data frame. Let's see what this does. Populate the entire data frame. Which columns are create a 3x4. Okay, how do we do that? When I create a data frame, let's go back to the beginning. My data frame, data, my data, columns, column names. So, in theory, and they did an array called data, and then here's my columns. See how they're doing that? So we're going to have to do something similar to that, aren't we? Columns are Eleanor. In fact, so this is a little tricky biscuit, isn't it? There's different ways to do different things, but which are the columns? You could say columns equals, and you could create this array. Okay, I create an array. It looks like you're going to use brackets, aren't you? And then I could I could grab these, and since I'm lazy, I'm very lazy, and I could copy those. I could copy those. How could I copy those without jacking this up, huh? Could I use control copy? Boom. Let's see if that will work. Control paste. How about this? Because we need to know how to do this. How about command copy? Click inside there, command paste. Boom, that worked. Okay, that's a little time saver trick for you. Use command C to copy and command V to paste. I don't want to type all that. I'm lazy. You knew that. Okay, so there's my columns. Eleanor, Chitty, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Tahini, Jason. Okay, so it's a 3x4. The 4 is going to be our columns. And which columns are named? Populate each of the 12 cells in the data with a random integer between 0 and 100 inclusive. Okay, so that's columns, and here's the rows. I don't even know if I can use those. Those might be a keyword, but we'll get to that. So rows, you're going to use some kind of random command, aren't you? Aren't I? And to do that, we might have to review our NumPy if we don't have that memorized, which I don't. So see what they're saying with a random integer between 0 and 1. Ew. Random integers between 0 and 100. Okay, let's see if we can figure that out. We'll pop over to our little NumPy thing. We'll scroll down here to where they talk about random. Okay, here we go. What's going on here? NumPy a certain range, for example, following populates a 6-element array with random ints between 50 and 1. So you said NP. Okay, this might work. NP rand. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. I just need that. So I'm gonna use my command C. Boom, now it's on my clipboard. Let's come back. Ooh. Click there, command V. Okay. Now we're going to have to change the numbers though for this, and populate each of the 12 cells. So I'm thinking 12 here. With random integer between 0 and 100 exclusive. 0. Ooh, what's that? High is 101? No. And 100 exclusive. Entire output the dot. Okay, so then we're going to say my data frame. We haven't created it yet. All we've done so far is we've created the columns and the rows. Hopefully we've done that correctly. Now we have to actually create the data frame. Okay, let's remember how we do that. Instantiates a PD data frame. Okay, so this is where you do that. This is how you do that. Okay. Let's use our command C. I've got that on my clipboard. Come on down. Come on down. Command V. Let's see, I hope I did that okay. Did I do that okay? My frame is PD. Something's wonky. Something doesn't look right, does it? Data frame. Oh yeah, I think I got it. See, we got some duplicity going on here, so don't mind me. PD data frame. data is now this probably isn't going to work, but let's try it. This just gives you the idea. It gives me the idea, actually. You may not need the idea. You might already have the idea. So let's see if this is even going to work. Rows and columns, that's what I've named these here. Boom. Okay, so it's saying my frame, what is it saying? It's invalid syntax. It doesn't like, it's not really telling me what's going on. Columns, rows, it just doesn't freaking like it. So that's my problem. I'm going to have to figure this out. It doesn't like the whole damn thing. So excuse me. So where I would look, data equals columns equals. How about that? Maybe it needs that. I do not know. I doubt this is going to work, but it doesn't like my, it's saying that it doesn't like my name, the name that I gave that my data frame. Isn't that what it's saying? That's what it appears to be saying. My data frame. Oh. Yeah, see what they did differently here? They call the data my data under my column names. Let's follow their guidance since mine's not working, okay? So I've got to change this because you can imagine columns and rows, those are probably key. My column names. Okay, so that's very descriptive, isn't it? So let's do the thing here. My row names. Is that a good way to do it? Talk about it? Got to understand what we're doing, man. So my data, my columns. Okay. My data, my column names. Let's do it the way they did it, okay? My data. Cool. Yeah, the data is the rows. Eleanor, Chitty, Tahini, and Jason, right? Each of the 12 cells in data with a random integer between 0 and 1. So this is where we're going to do that. Random randint, 0, 100, size, and 12. And then my data frame would be a little more, descriptive, right? Is that how they did theirs? Yeah, my data frame, okay. my data frame equals pd dot data frame. Now, see, this is going to change here. So data, let's see, data and columns, did they do it that way? Yeah, data is my data, columns is my column names. See, that makes total sense. Let's do that. My data frame, yeah. Okay, let's do it like theirs. So data is going to be what? It's going to be my underscore data. And columns is going to be what? My column names. My column names. Okay, let's see if we can get some traction here. Data equals and I'm not sure my column names, my data. See, that'll looks good to me. I've got my columns. My column names. How about if I make this my new data frames. My new data frames. That way it's not conflicting with the above. So I don't know. What do I got going here? My new data frame. Why doesn't this work? This should be my good example right here. Oh, NP array. Did I do that? When I made, no, I did not. So I think you got to say NP array, and that makes sense because everything has to be set up to work with arrays. We're now working with arrays, not a list. See, I had a list. Well, and this is a list, but you have to frame it like an array. Then you go parentheses. Now this was a in this case they created a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They created a 5 by 2. So that's 5 rows by 2 columns. I'm going to have to do the same thing, ladies and gentlemen, I think. So NP array, yeah, and you're going to have to gotta have some parentheses, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's the case. Wow. Oh. See, this example is different than what I'm doing, isn't it? Because, no, this is just column names. But I don't, once again, I got myself confused, didn't I? Yeah, you just make an array with those names in it. Oh, and they have to have they have to have the quotes. They did single quotes. We'll do the same. Okay, so I see what's going on. I just got myself a little confused. I did column names first. Let's take those parentheses out. Now, because these are column names, you got to have quotes, bro. And do I need to put? Do I need to separate them with the comma? I might not. Let's see. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. I think we're making progress. So if you hang in, I'm going to hang in. Why not? What have I got to lose? 0. I don't have a thing to lose. It's not like I have somewhere to be, somewhere to go. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about my column names. I think I've got that straightened out. Yes, it is an array. Don't say lists. We're working with arrays now. It's a similar concept though. And these are strings. They're column names or headings. They're strings, so you got to have them in quotations. Okay, so we got that straightened out. Let's see if that does anything for us. No, not necessarily. My column names. Columns is my column names, so I'm cool with that. Now, my data. NP random, randint. 12 cells. Ooh, this is wonky. 12 cells a day for random minutes between 0 and 1 inclusive. My data, PD data frame. Well, okay, let's take it one thing at a time. First we got our column. We did it that way. We did our columns first. That's fine. My data. My data is really what? It's the rows. Okay, and we're creating that. So let's go up here and see how they did theirs. Now for that, they did do an NP array. Now whereas this is, wow, there's this 5 by 2 NP array, parentheses, and then, okay, so we're going to have to do something similar. Wow. See how they did that? NP array. See, all I've done up here is give it the headers. But ours is 3 by 4. Wow. Okay, but don't get discouraged. I have an idea. Let's do this. Because see, what can sometimes happen is that you add too much complexity too soon. You want to build simple. Start simple, build piece by piece as you understand. So let's see, I'll say Command C to that. And then I can back that out because I'm getting myself confused here. NP array, I need to do it just like they've done it up here, because this is my guidepost. I have to do it this way. Now they did theirs first, which is, that's fine. I don't think that matters. NP array, and this is how they structured theirs. Mine's going to have to be a little bit different, as you know. But this is a good, this is a starting place, or a template, if you will. So I'll say copy C. All right, that's a 5 by 2. So there's what? There's 5 rows by 2 columns. Mine's going to be different. Mine's going to be what? 3 rows by 4 columns. Okay, pop that down there. Command V. Once again, theirs was 5 rows by 2 columns. Mine is 3 rows by 4 columns. 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. By 4 columns. Wow. Starting to and see how they did that up here. Oh. Okay. See, if that helps, we could do the same thing. We can name our columns afterwards. So I'll say no, let's not do that because we're going to get ourselves confused again. My data NP array, and once again, ours is 3 rows. So this is row 1, 2, and 3. And in a row, let's put some placeholders, okay? Some placeholders. Okay, so there's our 4 columns. And then, okay, so now my data, and that's how they named theirs. They named it my data. Is an NP array. It's a 5 by 2 NumPy NP array. How about that, huh? Sound pretty impressive? Okay, I'm impressing myself. Yeah. Okay, so that all looks good. That's what we've done here. Now, these numbers that are in here are not my numbers, okay? That's not right. Which columns the child paid, each of the 12 cells, 4 times 1, 2, 3, yep, that's 12. With a P. Okay, so those have to be created randomly, all right? So, wow. And so, we're going to need to create those randomly. Let's come back. Now, in order to get an example of how we do that, we're going to pop back to our NumPy. Oops. Yep, I'll reconnect. That's all we have to do there. And integers. Oh, we could do something similar, couldn't we? Why not? We could do it that way. Let's see where they first start talking about using rand and randint and that kind of thing. What about this? Would that work? Let's try it. I'm going to copy it. Command C, boom, it's on my clipboard. Where am I? I'm back here. I'm back here to the Pandas tutorial. Command V. So there we are. And I'm going to use this randint, but populate each of the 12 cells with random integer. Okay, so that makes it easier, so I don't have to do float. Float would be, you know, in my opinion, a little more complicated. Our low is 0. Our high is 100. And we need 12 of them. See, I think we're making progress. Sorry if I've lost some of you. Okay, so let's see how they did theirs. I think I just need to give it some kind of name that's a little simpler, okay? And not give it a keyword. I don't want to do that. Random int between 0. Yeah, this is a good way to do it. Each of the 12 cells. Yeah. Ooh. Then how did they well then. So I want to make this name can I just call it R? I make each one of these numbers R. I'll start here. Isn't that what we're doing? I don't know if this is going to work or not. I have no idea. Okay. Oh. You see the problem? I'm missing a I'm either missing or I have an extra parentheses that I don't need. So in order to figure that out, NP array, I think I need to come here to see how they do that. Yes, I need parentheses. All right, you see that? See how I figured that out? So NP array, I've got this, and then see that's what unmatched parentheses. So that's an easier problem to fix because they told me what's wrong and they told me where. And I agree. I agree with what they're saying. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. Let's try this. Oh, well, now we got a new issue, I think. My new data frame. Data is my data. Columns is my column name. Must pass 2D input. What? Oh boy. See, that I don't get. They lost me on that one. So, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna say show code. So it says double click for a solution to task 1. Let's see how they did theirs. They said my column names. I said my column names. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. They said my data. NP random rand_int. Low, high, and size. Isn't that the same way I did mine? NP, I'm looking up here. NP array, whoops, I'm getting confused. My data. Oh, they didn't say array. Wow. Whew. NP random rand_int. Wow. They did theirs totally different. They didn't, I'm not sure how to explain that. But I've got an idea. Let's just blast this out, see, because I'm getting a little, okay. Let's use theirs down here. Oops, don't want to, you see, almost didn't grab that. That's the problem with copying, right? Copying and pasting. If you don't do it right, you're gonna, I almost missed a parentheses there. So Command C, now it's copied. Let's come up here. Command V, paste. Okay, now I'm gonna have to change this. Low, high. Now they meant, yeah, so 101, size 3/4. So that creates, so that your data is, again, it's 3 rows by 4 columns. So that's what this did, and it's creating a random for each one. The data from my data. Columns is my columns. This might work. Let's see. Right. That's all well and good. So see, I got my, that's how, you see how I got myself out of a jam. Now see, I'm working by myself, right? So I can't, so it's good that they give those hints. And I think you still learn, it's just, you know, I didn't do it all by myself, right? I cheated a little bit, I used theirs. Now, I'm thinking, well, I'd like to see my data frame now of what, I'd like to see my work, I'd like to see what I've created. So let's just grab this because I'm getting lazy. Command V. So now I'm going to print my data frame. Whoops, what happened? Oh, yeah. So see, I'd have to say, we could change this, couldn't we? Could we do that? Well, we'll call RSDF too, make it simple. See, you understand what happened there, I think you do. Well, boom. And there's my data frame that I created. So see, I finally created something. Ha ha. And then just go from there, because we're not done with what they were asking us to do, are we? Output the following. Create a fifth column named Janet, okay? Which is populated with rows. To Janet, you're adding Tahini and Jason, and so they show you how to do that. Second row, this is the header. And you're adding these two. And print the enhanced data frame. Okay, so I'm going to end it there. You've been very patient if you've watched this whole thing. And I'm going to stop this and see what we have. See if this. So I hope you got some benefit out of it. This kind of shows you at least how I'm approaching something like this. And guys, in my opinion, this is a great way to learn Pandas. You got to know Pandas. If you're going to do data science with Python, you have to know Pandas. You have to know some NumPy. That's why these are the prerequisites. It's no fooling. You got to know. You got to have this stuff under your belt in order to make some headway with this. It's fun though. It's interesting. Give it a shot. If you're interested in data science, you're in the right place. Hey, thank you very much. I'm going to end this screencast. Okay. Bye-bye.